This is Judge Joe Brown, and we're listening to We All Be News. News-free Dixie for the 21st century.
Also, to the point, you told me something back in April about your ideas about the black church, about Jesus being a zombie. You elaborate?
Well, it was relayed to me. Somebody just asked me and said, what do you call something that's dead and gets back up and walks? Now, I don't want to say anything against the religion. I'm not saying that. But honest to goodness, come on now. Sometimes we need to remember that there's another part of this whole equation besides believing. I think the old statement was, God helps those who help themselves. Nowadays, you hear it over and over in black churches. It doesn't make any difference what you do as long as you believe. In other words, I've heard it actually said, if you believe you can be a no-good sinner, a robber, a thief, a burglar, a murderer, a pimp, a prostitute, a drug dealer, it's all right as long as you believe. Like the hell it is, you need to do some good deeds. So we get so caught up in things that are the path of least resistance. We want everything handed to us instead of going out and earning. We want to be successful, but we won't finish school or go further in school. We may go to school, but we don't achieve in school. We want somebody, our woman, to take care of us, or our man to take care of us, and we don't go out and do what we ought to do. We have a lot of babies without trying to be married to have them, because we get bigger checks for doing so, but nobody wants to go find out how to raise them. We want to love our children, but we need to understand that sometimes love means don't give them everything, so they learn how to be self-reliant. You see, there's a downside, a backside, a flip side to everything. So, where do you go with what you do? You want to go to heaven? Well, go die. You'll get there quickly, I guess, if you believe. But on the other hand, if you want to take a religion as something to inspire you, then go do something for somebody else besides yourself. Stand up for something. You've got a clear pathway to the pearly gates, so be brave. Have physical and moral courage.
Well, actually, this thing, like, you know, it's like a religion. It's kind of like a hindrance to black folks right now. I'm not saying the practice of religion, but how we practice religion and how we show to express our beliefs.
Well,
would that be the case?
I did research for this think tank I mentioned earlier, and one of the ways that slave owners were instructed to have high profit in their raising slaves for fun and profit adventures was to make sure that they got religion delivered to them so it pacified them. Religion became something that would inculcate the sense of you need to be tested by enduring what is being done to you so you could get something, the pie in the sky after you die, and put up with what we're doing to you now. You came from a heathen place, and therefore this is your punishment for being a heathen, your penance that you must pay as a good Christian. That's nonsense. That's the 3 M's. Missionaries, send them in, then the Marines, then send in the man catchers to get slaves. You see, it's not good. And we have done something very interesting. What's the name of the first planet from the sun? Mercury. Next one is Venus. then Terra, that's Earth, and then Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, etc. Intercontinental ballistic missiles, Atlas, Thor, you get Mercury space program, Gemini, you get Apollo, you have Marvel Comics with Thor, you have Anthony Hopkins playing Odin. In other words, the white folk ain't forgot about the ancestral gods, but you'd have to go 1 out of every 10,000 African Americans to find out anybody who even remotely had a clue as to who our ancestral gods may be. You see what I'm saying? We had everything replaced. Christianity is not an overlay, it's a primacy that makes us particularly susceptible to being pacified. We've got black churches as an inescapable institution in our communities. Some of the preachers need to tell these young girls keep their legs closed. Some of these guys to go get a job, wear a raincoat instead of fathering all these outside children. And the young men, it's your duty to go finish school so you can deal with what you need to deal with for the next generation and the one you're part of. You see, hip-hop and dancing is good, but does anybody come up with anything besides preaching against it when half of the young ladies sitting on the front row up there while the pulpit's looking have on short dresses that look like they're shorts when they're standing up? What are we going to do when we deal with it? We really want to get free, and the source of getting free is what you see when you look in the mirror in the morning. Comb or brush your hair, brush your teeth, shave, or if you're a woman, put your makeup on.